Today we're in Shoreditch in the East End of London. We're here to meet Cyndi Rhodes, the founder of Worn Again, a fashion company specialising in upcycling. So can you tell us a bit more about the business and the kind of projects that you're actually involved in?
Well, Worn Again is an upcycling company, and we work with large businesses to turn their textile waste into new products that they then buy back.
Now, for those who are listening, they may not necessarily understand what upcycling means. Is a way of breaking that down.
Exactly. Well, with recycling, you take something like a plastic bottle, melt it down, turn it into another plastic bottle. With upcycling, it's the process of taking something considered waste, such as textiles that's going to get thrown away. It gets turned into a new product of higher value.
What were the early days like for you when you started this?
I suppose it's, I don't know if you saw the film Sex, Lies and Videotape. She goes on and on about the trash, and she doesn't know where it's all going and it's driving her crazy. I sort of had a similar feeling about waste and the mountains and mountains of waste that were adding up after our rampant consumerism, and I wanted to do something about it.
How easy was it for you as a startup to get people to buy into the idea of what you do with upcycling?
I suppose with our company there's been quite an evolution. So we started back in 2005 making footwear and then moving into accessories out of reused materials. And back then it was just at the forefront of sustainable fashion. No one knew what it was all about, and it was really exciting. It was a new way of making products. About 2.5 years ago, we started to evolve a much different model for the business, more of a business-to-business model. So in the first few years, we were making footwear, bags, accessories. We worked with Virgin Atlantic to make a range of bags out of their old seat covers. We then went on to work with Eurostar and Virgin Hot Air Balloons to make a range of products, bags, accessories, and jackets. And it was around that time where we realized a much bigger opportunity. Look at all these large businesses. They're generating all this excess textile waste, and it's ultimately, there's a big risk that it's ending up in landfill. So got to thinking, well, you're throwing out, getting rid of all this textile waste, you're buying in all these new products. How about we look at turning some of those new products, or making some of those new products out of their own textile waste?
It seems, for those entrepreneurs who are going to be watching this as well, hearing about you having clients like Virgin Atlantic and Eurostar just seems so simple. But what was it like as a startup approaching some of those large companies to say, this is our idea and we'd like to be able to work with you?
It was very daunting in the early days, but, you know, didn't dare too much. It was, we'll take your textiles, we'll turn them into something, not really recognizing the real value that this was to them. It allowed us to develop the side of our business now that's currently underway, which I can't really say too much about, but it's a much more comprehensive approach to looking at all their textile waste and turning that into new products that they then buy back. We're now working with companies like M&S and McDonald's, and for me it's hugely exciting because I think a few years back large businesses were often seen as the enemy or the cause of problems, when actually, you know, what I find hugely exciting is that they also hold the key. The massive outreach, the impact they have through their business activities is massive.
With people who are excited about starting up, and everybody wants to start up and go into business now, is that there are obviously going to be challenges that come with starting up your own business. So what do you find are the major challenges as a young company starting out?
Well, there's challenges all along the way, but I think the little wins make it all worthwhile. It's very exciting when you're running a business for yourself and for a bigger purpose. It's hugely rewarding, and that's what will get you out of bed in the morning. I have no business training whatsoever. I have passion and determination, and that's what drives me. The most key, important thing is getting the right team around you. So anything you don't have the skills for, get the right people in for it. We're aiming to create an entirely new industry that doesn't quite exist.
Given that you are going to be quite revolutionary around how manufacturing is done, what's next for Worn Again? What does the future hold?
So upcycling is a focus for the next few years, but meanwhile, we're also developing the future, which is closed loop textiles. So we're creating textiles and materials that they're made into garments, they're worn for 12, 18 months, they come back through a collection system, are turned back into fibers and textiles to be reworn again. So that's the end vision, is closed loop textiles. It's the holy grail. At the moment, we've got so much waste existing in the system to upcycle and to run many, many businesses over the next few years. That's sort of the 3 to 5 year plan.
I love that vision, and I love the passion that you have to see that actually work. I am still, however, very intrigued with your journey with Virgin, and obviously we're here, Virgin Media Pioneers channel, but I'm really wanting to explore a bit more how you, I know you're a confident woman, that's what I've got, but how did you go and approach Virgin and just say, look, this is what we're doing, and can you just kind of like take us through the process of what you actually did? And
well, we ended up giving Virgin Atlantic a call, and can't remember what the route through was, but we eventually got through to a woman called Lizette, head of marketing, and she was very intrigued with what we were doing and knew that there was this source of textile that currently didn't have a use, namely their airline seat covers. Said, yeah, why don't you just take them and let's see what we can make with them. So we went away through a design process, created some bags, some wash bags, and intermittently would go back into Virgin and say, this is what we're doing, how's it looking, what do you think? And pretty much had their encouragement the entire way through. People loved it. It was a unique idea. It was something new and refreshing. So that was quite exciting. And then after that, we realized it's not too much skin off a company's back to find a good solution for their textile waste. So we got in touch with Virgin Balloon. Actually, we got invited to present in front of a whole group of Virgin company, the marketing team for all the different Virgin companies. We got approached after that presentation by a very excited Alex from Virgin Balloons and said, we've got loads of hot air balloons. When they're decommissioned, we don't have a use for them. So we said, okay, right, well, why don't we make some products out of those?
what advice would you give to young designers about managing textiles and waste?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's about design, intelligent design. The reason we have waste is because we've designed it into the system. I'd love to see young designers looking not just at the design of a product, but the whole life cycle. So where do the materials come from? Where are they going to go afterwards? What is it made out of? What did it take to make those materials? Do we have existing materials that these products could be made from?
There's a lot to think about for entrepreneurs who are starting up in business. Why, especially for you, why do you think sustainability or waste management should be a priority?
Well, going back to the design, I don't think business should be about sustainability per se. I think sustainability is a part of it's got to be a part of every business now. It's got to be, you look at the small startup companies who might have a sustainable idea, and that's where they're driven by, but you look at large companies today and they know they need to move in that direction as well. So I think it's about, it just has to be built in your business model, regardless of what your industry is or whatever your idea or project is.
So where can young fashion designers go to find out more about sustainability?
I think there's an absolute huge volumes of information on the internet. That's a good place to start. Type in sustainability, sustainable fashion. But again, I would encourage people to learn what sustainability is about, but then look at how to apply that on a much broader, more mass market scale. Because I don't like the phrase ethical fashion. I think it should be fashion. Let's drop the ethical, because fashion should be ethical from the very beginning.
And my last question is, and this is my own curiosity, where are you from?
Well, I asked you a riddle earlier. What's round on the ends and high in the middle? Any answers, guesses? Visualize it. Ohio. We've got a marching band song for the football team.
See, I was trying to go and coming back into 18. Yeah, okay. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Cyndi. Thank you for your time. It's been really interesting finding out about your company, and thank you very much for taking the time out for the Pioneer.
Thank you. Good luck to them.
take a minute to explore how upcycling can fit into your business model as a profit-generating alternative to recycling. To find out more about fashion and sustainability, check out the Ethical Fashion Forum online or the Centre for Sustainable Fashion. You can also check out brands such as Rhoades and People's Tree. Sustainability should be a part of and not an add-on to your business model. Thank you for watching. We'd like you to post a video response with your thoughts and opinions on virginmediapioneers.com.